everybody. Welcome once again to another Professional Goblin podcast. I'm Scott Gladstein, and with me, as always, is...
Mike Myler. Hey, buddy. How you doing?
And today we have the wonderful, the impressive, the indomitable Christina Stiles. How you been?
Hey, pretty good.
So, we are blown away by who you are, but I'm not sure everybody in the world knows about you yet, so do you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Sure. So I've been in the gaming industry probably since around 2000, since Got20 started with an open license. So the last few years I've been mostly doing Pathfinder and Savage Worlds material, a little bit of Mutants and Masterminds.
That's a person after my own heart. I love all three of those.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I also teach a class at a university on tabletop role-playing game narrative.
So
Very awesome.
That's
I look
we get
forward to talking about that.
Yeah, we get to participate in that a little bit. That was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you guys don't know, we do start our show with a bit of a review, but of course we do not review them. Two people known as Batbro and Cool Shredder do, but unfortunately, the mustache
has passed away in a terrible, grievous growing accident. And it is my sad duty to report to you all that we will not be seeing Batbro again. If we can all observe a few seconds of silence of memory for this heroic, stalwart individual.
There we go. That's not
that was long enough, I agree, yes. So,
I can hear now.
this week... You're good?
I think I'm good, I guess.
Who is this, by the way, that I am reviewing with?
Unicorn Bro, I guess.
Oh. All right.
I'm in the process of growing a mustache.
Okay.
It is it's a long and tedious process for unicorns.
Yes. Okay.
So, what do we take a look at today?
Today we're going to look at First Contact, the free RPG Day supplement from Paizo Force Starfinder, the role-playing game. I really enjoyed it, although we do have a couple of curiosities about it. Okay, so let's get out there what it is, right? It's a very small, 20-ish page book that gives you a couple of stat blocks, a quick breakdown of how Starfinder and Pathfinder are different, a very brief map of the local solar system, and basically just enough that if you wanted to play a game, you could sit down and play a game with it. Scott, Unicorn Bro.
Unibro?
you bro. I think Unibro. What did you think?
So
you have some very specific.
So overall, I thought it was definitely a little taste of Starfinder. It wasn't quite the. I thought it was gonna be an adventure or something, but right out the gate, it does bring a lot to the table. It simplifies some things. They have a real focus on including races. Like aliens as races, and I really enjoyed that. A lot of it was, a really weird gripe I had with it was that they had a lot of the page assets were a little bit blurry. That sounds really weird, but I didn't like them very much.
Yeah, I didn't have any problem with that. I think I spotted a couple of things that I've used myself actually in the page backgrounds and stuff. Yeah. Which I don't know, made me feel good. I was like, oh yeah, I've seen that before. I think I put that over there at one point.
I did like that they broke down it kind of felt like they referenced Ultimate Combat a lot. Pathfinder Unchained a lot.
Yes, they did. They definitely
did. And they kind of called it out as, we did it like this in Pathfinder Unchained, and we're doing it here. It kind of gives context to Pathfinder Unchained in that, they kind of, it feels more like they're, like, this is the test ground for Starfinder. This is the test ground for Pathfinder 2, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So,
it definitely feels like it's test ground for Pathfinder 2.
Yeah.
That said, it is still very similar to Pathfinder, more similar than I thought it was going to be.
Totally.
So that was very cool.
It's going to be an easy jump tip for people.
And, I mean, there's a lot of different stuff in there. The artwork's generally pretty good. There was one piece of art that I was like, what are you doing?
Which one was that?
The contemplative.
See, I like the contemplative. I had a problem with some of the other ones.
No, it just didn't. It felt too. Candid isn't the right word. Whimsical.
Yeah, but it's very. But see, I like that. It's very science fantasy instead of science fiction. You know.
I know.
I
would have preferred it arted differently. Like the concept of the creature, totally fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
And like the screens floating around its head and stuff. It just looked so weird, and it didn't look weird in a good or exciting way. It looked weird in I don't want to look at that way. And I don't feel like that was the intent, you know. It wasn't like a, Slaneshi chaos circle ritual that's supposed to make you feel sick when you look at it. I don't feel like that was what they were shooting for.
Yeah. See, I did feel like your mileage may vary on some of the pieces, like the cover and the space goblin just popped out.
I like the rest of the pieces, man. Which ones didn't you like? I thought the Blood Brother was dope.
I didn't like it as much. It felt a little bit more sketchy than I wanted it to look like. I wanted it to have that sharper, cleaner thing. And I get it's a very sluggy thing, but it didn't... I don't know, it looked like they had like 2 different art teams, and some of them were like, these are the promotional images. These are going to be really high quality. And the other ones are like, these are good quality, you know?
I don't know. All right, well, this will bring us to another point, and Christina might want to jump in on here. So, here's what we were talking about before we started broadcasting. Or rather, some people we overheard nearby talking about.
Yes, clearly.
They were under the impression that perhaps they had intended initially to release an adventure like they normally do for Free RPG Day, and that there's still a draft of that somewhere in the Paizo warehouses. But somewhere along the production line, somebody was like, oh, because of X, Y, and Z, we need to do this differently. And what they did was very cool, and it works, and it's very smart. It's an excellent bridge for people who are familiar with Pathfinder, and a good way to incentivize folks who are not to check it out. But yeah, I don't know. I felt like there was some backstage trickery going on for the production schedule, and that this got treated.
Yeah,
That's a very interesting thought there. I'm not sure.
Have you checked out the first contact thing yet?
I've got a copy of it. I just haven't had a chance to pay too much attention to it.
All right, that's fine. And what do you think,
Yeah.
Unibrow? Are you?
honestly, I think that's a reasonable thing. I think a lot of projects start off in one place, though, and go to another. Like,
Especially
it may have
so-
started off initially as something else, but what it came out with was still something I definitely was glad came out, you know what I mean?
It's true.
So what's your verdict on this?
Oh, well, I liked it very, very much. And although it will not receive the shuriken for lack of dead turtles, I do give it 5 out of 5 throwing knives.
Well, I'm gonna do my grading out of 3, so I'll give it 3 claps out of 3. And a
Oh, all right.
You missing Bat Bro yet?
No. I think that the Unibrow character has a lot more depth.
Full disclosure,
Honestly.
I could see nothing out of that.
I like it even more. Oh.
Well, the worst part is I'm trying to make sure that
What you got to do is you take the mustache and put that on the thing so it has a unibrow.
Oh my God, we're gonna do that. Anyway, so yes, Unibro or whatever he ends up being named, Ubro will return, I guess, along with my lack of sight and my inability to see all the notes I made.
There you go.
But yeah, that again, it was a fun product. I'm pretty down for it.
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, I expected it to be good, and my expectations were met. And I don't know if folks who've watched this before, I'm pretty shitty when my expectations aren't met. So,
Yup.
good signs. Nothing about starship combat though.
Yeah, I noticed that. And that's something that you're really holding on to. You know, I'm holding on to that for my.
Dude, I swear to
token
God,
thing.
that's gonna be the straw. It's gonna be made or broken on that straw. I swear to God.
So
Anyway.
yeah, the next part of the show is a gaming story. It's either one about your current character, or if it's one from the past, it's something from a lesson you took. I actually have a good one today. I just thought of. I didn't think of it this exact second. But anyway, Christine, you want to go with it? Or Christine or Christina? Which would you prefer?
Christina. Yeah.
Christina.
with
Okay,
an
just
A.
like my wife does. So
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
my wife hates
Yeah.
Chrissy more than anything.
I get that too.
Ah.
I get Chris, Chrissy, or Christina. And Medusa, of course. So, just a character story.
Yeah.
And currently playing Skull and Shackles, adventure path with a group at a game store. So I'm playing a wereshark character who's
Awesome.
like a Swagan. Who's not, doesn't have the stats of a Swagan, of course. But one of the things that I've been happy about the character is I'm very intimidating and just the red shirt of the group. I've been swallowed 3 times already by different monsters.
You aren't doing like a street sharks thing at any point, are you?
I'm sorry, what?
Street sharks? Are you familiar with street sharks?
No.
Okay.
That's
Google it later.
You have missed out on some high art, and I do mean some totally high art.
Okay.
It is perfect 90s pastiche. Perfect.
Okay.
Super cheese.
Yeah, so this last game, it was time for the mutiny. We were supposed to kill off the main guys who've been bothering the crap out of us. And the game master put on an additional group of opponents that we had fought but not taken down completely. So these Grindylows and their queens show up on the ship, and her pet whale had swallowed me earlier, and I was able to break out from inside of him, and then I started to eat him. So once I got on the ship, I said, to play nice with these people that we were going to have to work with them. So I turned to the queen and I said, "I ate your son," like that, and it was on. It was on.
That sounds like awesome.
So I about died in that. Yeah, I go around eating everything. That's my motivation. There's not money or fame or anything to eat.
You are street sharking it at least a little bit.
Yep, and that's pretty jawsome. But yeah, last week we had a horse biting a whale, and now we have a Hagen biting a whale. Fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So Mike, you got one for us today?
I do. So, one of the last games I was in with my I don't know, the closest thing to my original gaming group was a Star Wars D20 game.
Yeah.
We talked about how much we love Star Wars D20 before.
Yep.
I decided I was going to be an Ithorian and I was going to be a pacifist Jedi, right? This is a story about playing with the right group in the right game.
That's always
So
good.
Rendwahl was an Ithorian and I loved playing him.
Hey, can you
and
explain
the
what
other
an Ithorian
people
is for people?
Oh, yeah, Ithorians look like hammerhead sharks that have been stretched out and are humanoid. They appear in various
So,
Star Wars
real
stuff. A
quick,
lot of
guys,
them
we had a little bit of a blip here. I don't know what it was. It just started saying reconnecting. I don't know what that was. So if we missed something here, I apologize. If you guys suddenly get a jump, I apologize for that. I don't know what it was. I didn't even touch anything.
So anyway, there were some shining moments for Rendwahl because he did use his lightsaber 3 times.
Yeah.
The first time, he used it. He pulled it out and used it to show that they were Jedi and to negotiate a peace where combat was about to break out. Right? So,
Yeah.
pacifist Jedi number 1. Second time, we were being chased by a group of dudes, and he used his lightsaber to cut the cup link on a train so we could escape without killing everyone. Pacifist number 2. The third one, we had this just belligerent asshole dude playing in the game who permadeathed one of his characters so he could make this super powered Chewbacca mercenary guy. And we're at the final thing, and then he intentionally lets off a nuclear warhead. These people.
Oh my god.
So then Rendwahl, in the third and final act of using his lightsaber, leapt out and struck the nuclear warhead and exploded it and just killed himself and nobody else. And so had a fitting death.
Yeah.
But the amount of suffering that I had to experience to play that character was unbelievable. And if you are ever put into that kind of suffering, just don't show up. The game is supposed to be fun. If you're not having a good time, you're probably going to diminish the good time that other people are having.
So they weren't into it?
I mean, they were into killing people with lightsabers, but I don't know how they were into Star Wars or not. That's, a matter of taste, I think. To their credit, they had fun, so more to them.
Yeah. I mean, people play different games for different reasons.
Yeah.
So as a added side effect of that mask, by the way, I smell entirely like latex. It's fantastic.
Nice.
So, I'm going to talk about, we had the world's largest dungeon. You guys ever play that one?
I have
No, I haven't actually played it.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
so my friend ran it, and most of the group was playing serious characters. One guy wasn't, but this is a story about one person playing a character too seriously and everyone else kind of not buying into it. And that person was me, unfortunately. So I learned a lesson there. So I decided to make... The guy, he's like, we're going to play this pretty seriously, pretty straight up. So I'm just making sure we're not, like, exploding for some reason. So I decided that my character would have a goal that the GM could play with, because that would be fun. That's a great way to interact with your GM. I said, all right, why is my character going to the world's largest dungeon? He's going in to find the Axe of the Dwarven Lords. He was a half-dwarf and wanted to become a full dwarf because his older brother is dumb as a bag of rocks and would be the clan lord. And his older brother, who was another party member, had no interest in becoming the clan lord. He was a drunken barbarian. He was a... There's actually an archetype he was playing with it. So he was
I know what you're talking
the
about,
drunken
yeah.
rager or something.
Yeah,
but he was
something
playing
like
that, and I was playing his more Thorin-esque character rather than like a herd of dirt dwarf, you know.
Yeah.
And he was serious. He was a dungeon runner ranger with 2 dwarven axes. It was cool. But anyway, I used the stats for a dwarf, but he was a half dwarf.
Right.
So I play this very straight. I play this like his honor is impeccable. He is set on his task. He's going forward. And so I would step forward and always be like, where's the axe? Where's the this? Where's the grab? And the rest of the party is just like, we're playing D&D, man. Who the fuck cares? Chill. Pathfinder, whatever. I don't care. Just relax. And I'm like, no, we must find the axe. The axe is all I care about. And they're like, tone it down. It's okay. Just roll your D20. Just take it and go, you're good.
They all thought you were psychotic.
Well, no, they knew he wasn't psychotic. They knew because he was actually the party's face weirdly.
I didn't say the character.
No. They were all my friends in real life. We're good friends, and they knew how I played.
All right.
But in character,
Okay.
they were like, you're really fucking intense. Chill. So, I was gone for one session, and so was the other dwarf. So the dwarves went off to do their own thing, and they find a room that is basically a hologram projector room, kind of think a bit like the holodeck or something, but it's magic. And it was used for an encounter, but we're like, we're gonna camp here because this is the greatest thing. People come in and they're like, oh my god, it's literal fire in here, let's leave. So they made a situation where the axe appeared. And my character totally is just like, I'm getting the axe. And he gets the axe and he's using the axe and he's just hewing people down, and they all start laughing afterwards. They're like, we screwed with you. And I'm like, last time I was here, I literally went to hell to save you. And this is how you repay me. Yes, I cleft and halved a good artifact that was protecting a gate of hell. And I didn't know the way the script read was, destroy the artifact, things will happen. Okay, clip. And we went to hell, literally. Well, the sorcerer went to hell and I went after him. But, yeah, so the group was really like, they're like, will you chill now? You got your axe. And I'm like, I didn't get the axe. So
I was...
Yeah? No, go ahead.
I was playing with that belligerent dude, and I was playing the super serious barbarian, and I was like, if you bullshit me, and this was in character, if you bullshit me one more time, I will hit you so hard that you shrink 3 inches. And for a while we were good, and then he decided to do it while it was like, the barbarian was like standing on this rune. And I told the GM, I was like, I have a triggered action at all times. If his character bullshits me again, I will strike the ground so hard that he shrinks 3 inches. And then, so he did it while I was on the rune, hit the rune, unleashed a dragon. He was way more powerful than us. Fear effect. My barbarian fails all his saves and literally runs off of a cliff to his death.
But actually, that group was fun. We had another group that had run it with that same GM, and they kind of just like, what, da-da-da, and they just like had a lark through it. Our group, which was made up of a lot of like older school D&D players, were like, all right, so we're going to establish our base head here. We're going to fortify it over here so nothing, and we're going to set guards, and we're going to do this, and we searched it systematically room by room, like, and we would be like, all right, we're slightly injured. We're going to go back and recover. And then we did like, we tactically took out 2 zones in the world's largest dungeon, and it should be noted that certain areas in the world's largest dungeon have no monsters. Entire zones, like entire dungeons, have like 3 encounters in 30 rooms. Oh, it is so obnoxious. They're just like, we didn't put anything in any of these rooms, but these 3
Honorable
did.
mention for Owen Stevens. He has the most amazing, it's not D&D story, it's Star Wars story, about when he ran it as a promotion for WotC, and this old British couple walked into the Hard Rock Cafe. That's all I'm going to say. Look it up on YouTube.
We have to get him to
Owen,
say that?
Oh my, yeah, well, totally. If he's on here, we have to have him tell it. I've watched it like 7 times.
He's talked about it too. Oh, another one to look up is, you ever see the Squirt Gun War one from the Shadowrun? Spoony tells the Shadow War Squirt Gun War story.
No.
I won't go into much of it, but let your mind imagine this. The GM allows them to buy this medication that you can spray on people, and then whatever you spray afterwards is injected right into the bloodstream. So they start spraying people down with cocaine and Ebola, and and things just go way wrong, and there are fire trucks, and it's amazing. Go read it, because the NPCs start getting it too. It's amazing.
Spoony Squirt Gun story. All right.
Anyway, so so what's your favorite project you're working on? Christina, do you want to go first on this one?
Gee, I have so many. It's hard to choose, but probably the Book of Passion right now. It's in editing, so I'm really proud of what Will Wells and Marguerite Tramontano did with that. So very cool, and some of the art that's been coming in. Some of it's not suitable to open at work, of course, but it's a very cool project, I think. And
yeah, you got Indy Martin and Jacob Blackman doing the art for that, right? Or some of the people.
Yeah, Indy. Definitely fell in love with her work. I also have Peter Bradley doing some things, and Mark Carley, his roommate.
Mark's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I gotta ask, and I'm down with that stuff, but who are you marketing to with this book?
We're trying to reach at least, have something for a bit of everyone, So we do have some furries in there. We have heterosexual, homosexual, trans, you name it. We've got art for that, and we've got rules for that. So I want to be as open as we can.
I like that.
That's what I wanted. Yeah.
So I mean, we have that other book that got a bit of a reputation. I don't know how well.
Yeah.
It was just.
Yeah.
Should not have been directly by stuff. That's all.
Yeah, we were all affected by that book when it came out. So
Yep.
we do have to nod to it, and I also have him doing our opening forward. But we went beyond what they had started. I think we've done a good job of it. I hope everybody's going to be impressed with it when they see the final product.
And I think
also kudos to you on running the whole campaign without ever having a shitstorm occur from dumbass crap like rape person or playing a pedophile pre-gen or.
Oh my god!
But I don't understand how it keeps happening.
No, I never had any of that occur.
Yeah,
that's pretty weird.
I think it's because you're treating.
Yeah, you'd think if it was going to happen, this would be the thing it would happen to, right?
Exactly.
Not all this other crap. Like,
well, I think that's because of the way you're approaching it. You're not approaching it in the juvenile.
Yeah, you're very adult and smart about it. It was good.
Yeah, you're taking a very inclusive approach. You're really, we're looking at it in a context that's beyond. Hey, look, let's make a dick joke. Let's make a rape joke because that's great to put in a book.
Mm.
Oh my god!
No. Yeah. I'm really impressed by the maturity that the authors dealt with this topic, and the art shows it as well. So.
Yeah, another shout out for Indy because I love her to death, and I'm about to order
Indy's
thousands of dollars of art from her. I'm so stoked.
Oh, good. Don't steal my artists.
Oh no, she's mine. She's mine. I stole her already. I saw that portal thing, and I was like, yeah. Did you see the cover she did for me? Let me see.
I did not.
Oh my god, it's gorgeous.
I think this is like mom and dad are fighting.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was the one that helped Jacob go full time. So and then everybody started stealing.
This is my wife, and then this one is my mom. Because
we can barely see that, by the way.
Stupid talented. Well, if you look up 2099 Wasteland, you can find it. Yeah, she's insane.
I'm about to say I have Rui Fier. I'm about to commission a bunch of art from him. It's like, Rui, I have like $1,000-something worth of art orders for you. Are you okay with that? And he's like, yeah, please. What?
Yeah.
Huh? Do this cover first, and then we're good. But yeah, so
Yes, exactly.
So Mike, what are you working on today?
Well, I finished all the Street Fighters that I want to make.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be ending my Friday series soon. We'll have everybody from Street Fighter 2 Turbo, so the last one that came out on the SNES.
Yeah.
And then a couple other extras, like 25 total.
Mm-hmm.
And I put a little post on Facebook. I was like, hey, what do you guys want me to do next? Like, should I do BioShock D&D? Somebody suggested American McGee's Alice, which I might do later, because that's actually could be very, very cool. But overwhelmingly, people wanted to see Warhammer 40K hacked.
I can see it.
So, yeah. So far, I've gotten the general rules down, the races down, how being a psyker works down, the equipment except for costs down, and now I have to go through class archetypes and monsters. But yeah, it should be pretty awesome. I'm actually planning this one out. It's going to be a total of like 20 posts, I think.
Cool.
And yeah, I decided to. Well, I don't want to get too far into it, but Space Marines are basically like 2 levels higher than everybody.
Yeah.
Because there's like you can't do
Only
Warhammer
2?
40K and not feel like the Space Marines are badass. That's not all they get.
Okay,
So-
let's say.
There's a class of weapons I made called extremist weapons that only they, or if you have a special class ability, like if you're a Vindicare sniper, you will get an extremist sniper rifle. And those are like the crazy damage weapons. And
Your
then
deck
if
damage.
you are not a Space Marine, you have a feature called Touch of Fate or something like that. So you get extra AC and bonuses and shit to avoid extremist weapons. Right? Because like there are characters who like Caiaphas Kane has fought how many different Space Marines in hand-to-hand combat? Like 7?
Let's say
Plus an Orc Warlord.
he's
like,
also like He's also like CR30 at this point.
No, I mean that's what I'm
CR20
saying.
at this point.
But he's just a human, and he survives these things because he's touched by fate because he's a character in a novel.
Yeah.
So basically, if you want to play an Eldar or not a Space Marine, Chaos Space Marine, or Orc, then you are touched by fate and you get extra bonuses, and it's easier for you to dodge their shit.
So
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty excited about it. It's coming together really cool. I'm
look at that smile on her
definitely gonna be
face.
running some Warhammer 40K games. And I got stats for squats because I hate that
of
they got rid of
course.
them.
Damn it. They need to come back.
Well, they're not totally gone. I found out today.
Yeah.
They still exist as like remnants,
Yep.
but they will never be a major race again in canon, or so they say.
Until they want to.
Yeah, until it's profitable. Like
Yeah.
we'll see. The blood's on the wall over there, so maybe squats come back next year.
Maybe
They
just all
introduced them back
squats.
into fantasy, right?
Yep.
They have the war airship pirates and power armor squats. Or I'm sorry, dwarves. Dwarves, my bad. No.
Not squats.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So,
Yeah, no, it should be pretty dope.
So I got a lot of things in the work, but one of the things I've been spending a lot of time on. We got about 3 or 4 months back. We sent out some requests for feedback on Nagual, that system we're working on,
Wow.
and we got a lot of feedback. We paid people for feedback. We like people to give us feedback. And we got a lot of feedback. We got I also got Enzyte guys giving us feedback. We got literally probably 20, 30 pages of feedback. And so we sifted through all that, and I've been sifting through all that, and we kind of distilled what needed to be changed. There's some things going, this is too mind's eye theater for me, I don't like it. And I'm like, oh, sorry. You're not going to like this game either way then. But there's some things that were legit concerns. And I'm going to butcher his name. Was it Wojek?
Oh, I
Yeah,
think I know
yeah.
what you're talking about.
He provides awesome feedback, by the way. If you ever need someone to go over a mechanical review, he is top tier, man. He was very mechanically intense. He literally dissected every little mechanic. And we did some extensive revisions. All the core rules are still in generally the same format, but there were some things like we rebuilt how you did ability score allocation. So instead of being you can buy them based on a certain amount of points, and you get certain free ones, and now it's just buy your stats with some of your, because you build your thing with what we call EP, equivalency points, which are, and the best part is they're very fluid. So it's you should be about 30 EP. If you're 32, that's fine. If you're 25, that's fine. If your group decides, that's the entire conceit is, the group decides. Is that allowed? Yes. Go for it. So we nicknamed it the permissive system. If you guys don't know, Nagual is a big system we're working on. It's an entirely new system. It's Kickstartering in August. It is about giant Mesoamerican robots who fight each other, as well as get spiritual energy, and they're all about, like, it's a giant anime trope thing. It's fun. You can awaken your Nagual and have it go berserk and, like, reach higher planes of existence and punch people with anime energy. I don't know. It's great. We have, like, we have alien invasions and romance, and using your wit is just as effective as punching someone in the face. We got like 28 Nagual, I think, and Ruiz doing the art for it. Oh my god. We've been going over the cover art, and we just have this guy called the Nagual, who's called the Gold, and a Nagual. May is like this scrappy little guy, and the Gold is like this big, like super detailed tier 1 god mech. And I'm like, oh my god, these two are like screwed. The Nagual's gonna get his butt kicked.
What's the word count on it right now?
Oh my god, I don't know. We're trying to keep it really concise, but still, I don't know the word count, but I know the page count is probably only 100, 120.
Was this inch margin, double space, single space?
This is just basic Google Doc by default. I couldn't tell you the word count. I could go pull it up, but I don't want to have my computer crash on us. But the idea is that we're...
Yeah, dude, you can't do Google Docs past like 60,000 or so words before things go crazy.
Oh yeah, I know. I have a few docs like that. That's why we normally break. That's why I can't tell you. I haven't broken up into docs. But I think I did an initial layout, and it ended up around, with our 2-column format, somewhere in the 120, 140 range. But I got to do some expansion and world building stuff that people requested stuff on. I gave this much of a view on things. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. But they were like, we want to know more. I'm like, you want me to write more world building? All right, if you insist. So I'm expanding that from here to here. So I really have to combine those. But yeah, that's out in August. We're going to have the entire book done for the Kickstarter and be like, hey, we want more art. We want to fund the next book. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
So the day it ends is the day the book goes out. So
cool.
Awesome. Yeah.
All right. And so our next formatted discussion topic is favorite new projects that are not ours.
Personally, I'm interested in the Lost Citadel thing, Green Ronin.
yeah.
Is that
Yeah, I
that,
just thought
that
for the
that's
undead and
Kickstarter
the
just ended,
5e.
right?
Yeah, it just ended. Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of
well, I
looking
guess-
forward to that one, and we'll be out until 2018. I believe.
Yeah.
Again, you got to have stuff done when you're delivering your Kickstarter. That's what I always try to do.
I
Except
don't know.
except-
I mean,
Except with expanded stuff. That's my goal. That's what I strive to do.
Uh,
Like I go, I want to have like 99% of my work done being like, all right, I need to do like another editing pass and some new art. And then when I'm done with it, I want to be able to go, here's the product, now here's the next 3 I'm going to work on, you know? Like with Necropunk, I
Yeah.
think we had the
Wait,
entire
with
thing
the-
done. Go ahead.
Oh wow. Yeah, with the Book of Passion, we had most of it done, but we allowed the backers to sign up to write some things. So
Yeah,
of course,
definitely.
delays the project.
See, that's
But
what,
we also had a playtest month or so, a little over probably, and now everything's in editing, so we should be out next month.
very cool. Oh, you know what I wanted to ask about? You have an adventure from me called Quarrels in Caracas for Strange Brew.
Yes, yeah. Strange Brew itself is still 2 files behind from the final book. Every time I
Okay.
turn around, it seems like another file pops up that we forgot about.
I've been like dying. The
Yeah,
artwork
no,
from
I
that,
haven't
'cause I read
forgotten
the
it.
craziest shit for it.
Yeah, no, Tim went really overboard on his writing, so we have a lot. Just 2 more files to get out, but it's going to be a very big project. And,
Nice.
I really wanted to include all the witch and warlock material that was out there, but this thing's going to be so huge by itself that we can't really do that.
Oh, well, I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see
Yeah.
you do it and
Yeah.
stuff. Like, oh,
Yeah, I hope that'll be out by your piece maybe by the end of the year, or the beginning of the new year.
awesome.
Yeah, still got some things going on that.
For those interested, it's I was shooting for Final Fantasy witches, and
Nice.
it got very strange. But yeah.
Would you say like a Strange Brew?
Yeah, that was kind of the idea. Yeah.
So so Mike, you got something you're looking forward to?
Yeah, it's out. It's called Drag and Drop Adventures.
Yeah.
They've got the second edition of their things out. It's a new publisher. They do 5e stuff. This thing is a pack of 4 adventures for $20.
Nice.
Yeah, ranges from level 5, 6, 7, and 8. And the stuff looks really dope. If you're one of the people who really likes to have your third-party material look as much like Wizards of the Coast as possible, then you'll find this. And I'm actually kind of concerned. Like, I hope he doesn't get bothered by them, but like, I know that they have come after people for trade dressing stuff.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
the homebrew website they came after real quick, because like,
Is this a DM's Guild product or?
no,
regular
this is
5e?
on this is just regular 5e. It's just on the drive-through.
Okay.
I actually got.
Yeah, they probably will go after him.
I actually got.
Oh, okay.
Paizo actually didn't send me a C&D, but they sent me a "Don't do this again." When we had a cover for one of our books called the Tome of Tomes or something. It was a support for a lot of our other products, and our goblins had that like football-shaped head on the cover, and they were like, "Don't do that again." I'm like, "Nope, sorry, won't do it."
Yeah, we were dinged for that on the Book of Passion.
That is why.
Initially, our video had the football-headed goblins.
Ah,
Yeah, the Varanthia Codex. All of our goblins are orange because they complained to us that they look too much like Paizo's goblins, and so they couldn't be green. And we weren't going to change all the line work Jacob had done.
Yep.
So I was like, just we'll make them orange, and then I, wrote it off, and it works out fine. And it actually created a
Yeah.
terribly foreshadowed analogy of President Trump, but yeah, yeah, they do protect that goblin pretty fiercely.
Oh yes,
Goblin look,
yes,
yeah.
very serious about that. Yeah.
So
For the brand,
So, I'm not going to talk about it too much here. We're talking about in the Kickstarter section, but new Paths Compendium is pretty cool. Oh, I know what I'll talk about.
breaking the rules, Scott.
What is the,
What do you want to talk about?
Yeah.
no, are we talking about somewhere else?
I don't know what it is. What is it?
The class list. Oh, no, that's in the Pathfinder stuff. Hey, that's the next section. So yeah, I got nothing. I'll talk about that in
All
the
right.
other sections.
Yeah, just talk about new paths when we're supposed to talk
Yeah.
about it. All right.
Hey, next week.
Now we move on to the next section of the thing. Well, it's important because some
It is,
people
I
don't
get it, I
show
get
up
it.
to watch everything. They just want to see specific things. Like, all right. So, yeah, Pathfinder, Starfinder news and speculation. Like we do every single week, I'm sharing the link to the document that somebody has been compiling with all of the... Oh, look, they've just updated it today. With all of the releases of Starfinder info. It's very, very, very comprehensive. What's the page count up to now?
I don't know.
27, 28, 30, 50s. Very, very...
The following ad
Oh, my poor computer. You can make it. You can do it. That's 65, 66
Wow.
pages right now.
Oh, wow.
Huh.
So they've got their own
Yeah.
rule book.
Yeah. So if you want to know anything about Starfinder, that is the document to go to.
Okay.
Moving on. Starfinder subscriptions are available. I had no idea. Tell me
Yeah.
about that, Scott.
It's available.
As is the free RPG Day product
Yep.
for Starfinder. It's
Um,
downloadable now.
But yeah, they brought it out, and they're doing the free. They're starting the free PDF. I don't know what the free PDF is, but you get some. I don't know what they have. They say core rulebook is late August, then mid October for the Alien Archive, but like they do with a lot of their subscription services, they've already launched it. You can kind of pre-order the subscription service like at this point. They made a big email blast announcement, so.
And they know what they're doing with their subscription service. That is
Yep.
their base model, and it's working for them because they are very good about customer service, and they care about you. It's great. It's really refreshing, honestly.
So yeah, the next thing is, guess what? Starfinder First Contact's out. Man,
It's true. Who would have thought? I really need to check that out. I hear it's really good.
who would have thought
Very
about that?
cool. Yeah.
The
What else we got here? Oh yeah, so you got
Okay.
the list. Tell us about the list.
So there's this list I started managing, God, back several years ago at least, which I keep track of every third-party character class, base, hybrid, alternate, rebuild, and racial.
And these are properly published, not just
Yes.
like on a blog post.
They have to be published by someone. I don't remember if I tossed in they have to be Pathfinder compatible license, but they generally should be. I also do one for campaign settings, but that hasn't really grown that much recently, so it kind of gets buried. But we hit over 600. As of the last one, there's over 600. Every one of them is linked to their source. You can sort them if you make a copy of it.
And these are just classes, not class archetypes.
Well, no, we don't have archetypes included. Yeah. If I did archetypes, we'd have thousands, I think.
Yes, I think we would definitely.
Wow.
Have thousands.
I don't think I could do that. This is a project I've been working on for a long time. People
Paizo
get posting
has
the
to have
thread.
at least a couple hundred by this point.
Yep. And I was like, I can't possibly include all of those. The racial ones we broke off. At first it was just everyone was one list. Then it was like, all right, fine, we're breaking off hybrids into its own list.
Well, I don't know. I think the direct comparison people are going to be drawing is to 3.5. So like actually I can look it up. I think they defuncted most of the site, but there used to be this amazing site. What was it?
The homebrew one.
No. It was way better than that one. Oh no, Mike, Dungeon Tools or something. I'll see if I can find it. But I want to say the count for classes for 3.0 was at 1,800.
Oh my god.
That included prestige classes, but
I haven't done prestige classes on that one, I don't think. So maybe I'll do that. But yeah, people go
D&D
to
Tools Net. Yeah, that's it. That was it. That was the one. That's the one.
We but yeah, to submit to it, you just go ahead and you post in
Thank
the
you,
thread and
Computer
provide a
Smith.
link. We ask that you don't advertise a lot because let's put it this way, we're quite a few pages in. If you're advertising at this point, you know what I mean. It's a link. Go ahead.
990 classes. 990.
All right, so we have some room to go. I don't know. I think we can make it, guys.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Archetypes were introduced by Pathfinder, and they, I mean, it's not a class, obviously. It's like probably a third of a class, maybe depending on the class, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's an awful lot of permutation in that. But Paizo goes out of their way to stress that you should not be using all of the Pathfinder books all the time.
Oh yeah, totally. A GM. One of the big things about GMs is it's as much about what you allow in your game as what you don't allow in your game. Like if you're trying to be like, all right, this is a Weird West game, yeah, you're gonna have the gunslinger. But if you're like, all right, guys, we're doing like Game of Thronesy, politicky game, real like low fantasy, low tech, you're not gonna have a gunslinger. Or at least you really have to work to get that in there.
Well, I mean, you could do it. Like I have a campaign setting that has literally all you can play anything for Pathfinder in there. We worked very hard to include it all, but like we had to work very hard to include it all. It's super hard. It's called Varanthia Codex for anyone who's cool. Check it out.
One thing that people have asked me a few times already is, how are you gonna deal with Starfinder stuff? And I'm like,
yeah.
It's a good question. I might do a new column on the thing saying Starfinder question or Pathfinder question to say yes or no. You know what I mean? I don't know. At this point, it's going to be a little bit tricky. I might have to do a new tab, but not sure where I'm going with that.
I see exactly how the Starfinder classes work.
Yep, I'm gonna wait on that a little bit. But yeah, we got over 600. We're at 601. Submit, guys. We want more. So the next thing is Adventure Armory 2 came out. That got a whole lot of meh from the community.
Well, I remember
apparently.
people were generally not impressed with the first one.
Actually, I liked the first one.
True.
I liked it, but it wasn't super balanced.
No, not at all. I did like equipment tricks. I know a lot of people didn't, but I actually liked them. I thought they were kind of fun. If you guys don't know, you take the equipment trick, insert thing here feat, like a weapon focus feat, and then if you have another feat or anything else, it gets synergy with it and gives you a new ability. So if you could potentially pay that one feat tax kind of, and then be like, I have perception, and this is the like the case trick, like the sword, like the sheath trick. Now I can detect any creature around me with my sheath. I'm like, and there's a bunch of other things, like you could throw your sheath and it returns and everything. I had returning sheath in the game. But yeah, I don't know. It was good overall. I like the kits it introduced, but this one really got a lot of It reprinted a lot of Adventure Armories. One, they include poppets, which are like little mechs that you can deploy, little puppet mechs. I thought that was kind of cool. I'm like, they're kind of easy to buy and cheap to use, so I'm like, that's kind of fun.
Computer Smurfs pointed out that they kind of did have archetypes in 3.0. I didn't know this. They're these things with substitution levels in them.
Yep. I remember those because one of the first products I ever produced was substitution classes for Pathfinder. Yeah, it worked kind of like how the what's it called?
Yeah, it works how archetypes work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's see. Anything else on Starfinder, Pathfinder?
Oh yeah, sorry, I got distracted. Got following that. I can't actually think of anything else for Starfinder Pathfinder.
Oh, we got a bunch of stuff this week though. About D&D 5e. Mike, you got something for us?
Yeah, they opened up D&D Beyond. They're on stages 2 and 3 now, so you can go and make a full character. Although only the basic rules are included. And
that's the tabletop thing, or the VTT?
No, it's a thing done through Twitch. It's their online website with access to rules and forums and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, you can make a character with the basic rules. There's a couple of things that aren't on the SRD that are in there, but for the most part, it's just the basic stuff. And then you can make homebrew creatures, magic items, and spells. I have started to add a couple. They've finally fixed the editing tools, so you can go back and fix errors and stuff. And I've worked out how to add images and stuff. Hilariously, still no word on the DM's Guild thing, and I would feel very bad for the creators, but hilariously amused if they are not allowed to put their stuff on D&D Beyond.
So,
okay.
Christina, have you
what
any?
you're talking about.
Yeah. There's some speculation that if you publish on DM's Guild, you might not be able to be on the official D&D website. So, yeah.
Wow.
So,
I didn't hear that.
So, Christina, what's your experience with 5e with publishing stuff for that?
I haven't published anything yet for it. I've just recently started playing it, actually. Die-hard Pathfinder person here, so
yeah.
I finally made the switch as my students started yelling that they wanted to write for 5e rather than Pathfinder. So I've been playing a few games of it lately, but I'm considering doing some DM's Guild. Right now I'm too backlogged, so.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
know.
the DM's
Our
Guild,
schedules,
man.
You're not? No, I have kind of been talking, to some of the people that were involved in it to see if it was worth it. Some say it is, some say it's not. So, fair. How many 5e products do you guys have out in general?
None.
I have a lot. Maybe not a lot. Let me see. I got Mists of Akuma, which is a big book. It's like 250 some pages. Wasteland, which is about 200 pages. Those are settings. And then Mists of Akuma has 3 adventures. And then Hypercore 2099 has a 5e version.
Oh, okay.
And there's an adventure for it in 5.
I have stayed away from it because I don't like the policies yet.
And then I've written for other people.
Oh, okay.
I wrote half the book for A Touch of Class, which got like 80 grand on Kickstarter. So good for you, Russ. I'm very happy you made lots of money on that, and lots of people are going to read my stuff. But yeah, I mean, the marketplace. So
how's the market in general as a publisher?
For people who are regular watchers of the channel, I apologize because I'm going to rain again. For those of you who are not, guess what? DM's Guild is just one of many ways that Hasbro, and I think that I found the right metaphor for this. They're trying to control the third-party market the way that a Russian gangster tries to control a market, right? So there's Unearthed Arcana, which is their playtest material that comes out for free and like keeps everybody's attention on WotC, and more importantly, stakes out territory that then becomes basically worthless for me as a publisher to pursue, right? So if I make a gunslinger, it's always going to be compared to the gunslinger in Unearthed Arcana, which I can never, ever, ever reference in material because it's not OG, right?
Gotcha.
So there's that one. Then there's DM's Guild, which is terrible. Like do you know any professional publishers on DM's Guild?
Nope.
Trying to think. Cobalt had one product out there, but I don't think they pursued it much.
People keep mentioning them on that. Good for you guys exploring that place before we did.
Well, I felt that
Yeah,
like they were sort of obligated. 'Cause Cobalt's been with them even through the ridiculous
Yeah.
GSL of the 4th edition.
True.
So, GM's Guild takes half your money, right? If you
Right.
sell something on Drive-Thru RPG, they'll take 35%. If you sell exclusively through them, they'll take 32.5% or 30% or some shit like that.
30. Yeah.
But 50% is just a horrible, god-awful cut. And then, this is the part that kills me. You can't publish it anywhere else ever because you give up ownership of the intellectual property to DM's Guild. Which, as a person who is creative for a living, sounds horrifying.
Yep.
And then the third part of that is that they've made that the official D&D marketplace. So buying a D&D product anywhere else doesn't feel authentic because it's not the official D&D marketplace.
Right.
They've not released any kind of like SRD compatible logo of any sort like Pathfinder has. There's no incentive for professionals to engage with it. And it is my belief that WotC wants to stop making RPG books entirely and then just stamp D&D on video games, t-shirts, movies, novels, comics, whatever they can fit the stamp on.
Licensing.
Yeah. They want to make it into just a licensing stamp. And I don't know, it makes me very angry because it doesn't deserve that. And like, it's so many people put so much time and art, effort, wearing this, and for them to monopolize and like just bleed the fucking rock. Oh my god, it drives me insane.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, they haven't been too great with the publishers this time around, but I have seen a lot of new gamers playing. So
Yep.
Yeah, it's
like
nice
they are reaching that new market.
Yeah, that's good. I'm happy about that. I wish that they would.
It's very approachable.
Yeah.
For players, Mike.
For players, yeah.
Yeah. It's well.
For me, it was I just didn't want to rush into learning another rule set when I
It's
was
a fun
very
rule
happy with
set.
the one
I mean,
had.
the actual mechanics of the game are cool.
I like it.
It doesn't excite me though, There's something about it.
Well, from a design
I'm
perspective,
cool with it, but at the same time, doesn't excite me as a player.
from a design perspective, it's actually a little bit trickier to do 5e because you can't as easily replicate or control the conditions of encounters, right?
Yeah.
It's just not as much of a simulation as Pathfinder. If you're looking for a rule in Pathfinder, you could probably find it, right? There's radiation rules. There's up and down the wall. They've covered it. So that's awesome because then you have a lot of controls as a writer or designer over like what's going to happen in this scenario and campaign and adventure setting and stuff. When you do in 5e, it's way more at the table, but like the other side of that is that they go in the rules out of their way. They go out of their way to say the GM is the arbiter of the rules, right? So they really put authority at the person at the head of the table. And I mean, I don't know, you've seen it biting in the ass. Another thing they've fucked up, the goddamn Adventure League. They've fucked it up so bad that they've handed it off to somebody else because they botched it so bad. Like,
okay. Yeah, I haven't got much up for that. So
Baldwin, or is it Goodman Games or Baldwin Games? One of them. I think
it's Goodman.
Baldwin? Is it Goodman? Okay.
That
Baldwin
sounds
is
right.
the one that's re-releasing old adventures converted to 5e.
Yep.
Goodman is the one doing Adventure League now. And I wish them the best of luck. But like,
Goodman's doing Adventure League?
I think it might be Goodman, yeah.
Wow,
It's
I
either
hadn't
they're
heard that.
doing the conversions or it's either Baldwin or Goodman. They're the two that are doing, because I remember thinking like, that's weird.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I hadn't heard that.
they had to fit man in the title of both of the companies that they're making a big push to help.
Okay, yeah, I hadn't heard that. I thought there were two involved with the DCC and the MCC stuff.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know.
So, do you want to move on to the next topic so Mike can stop ranting about how much he hates
Yeah,
DM?
I'm sorry. It just
Yeah, I need a separate phone call with Mike on that.
See, we have a. I think we've had this back and forth a few times. It's great.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
you will never. You've heard it here first, second, twice, and third, and fourth. So the next one is Seven Seas.
So we're talking about other RPG news now.
Yes, other RPG news. Sorry. So Seven Seas canceled with a week left.
No, after 1 week.
Oh, after
Just
1 week.
after
Sorry,
1 week. So
sorry.
they're doing,
Yeah.
So John Wick Presents was doing a Kickstarter following up on Seven Seas for a War of the Cross board game set in Seven Seas, right? And it ran for a week, and they got over half their funding, which is indicative of you're going to make it. Basically, if you
And
make your Well, yeah. But if you make half your money in the first week, then you will fund by the end of the Kickstarter. That's just statistically how things work out.
I think Kicktrack's data on that.
Yeah. Well, Kicktrack's not really reliable until 2 weeks of data, but
I get you. But
so
they
they canceled
it. Yeah.
Yeah, like what's up with that?
Well, I mean, if you read his message on the page, he basically says like, there's some people gave us some good feedback. We didn't bring everything that we thought we had to the table. We need to go back and kind of rework a bunch of things. But he's like stressing so hard that we will be back. This is not done. We kind of tripped on our first step and we're going to come back to you guys with a much bigger, better product.
I don't know. I think he thought that he was going to blow up again. And so he went for a way lower asking price than what he actually had budgeted and was planning for.
That's a very valid way of looking at it.
Yeah, that's very possible.
I mean, like, I know when we plan our Kickstarters, like, I do the absolute minimum I can fund this project at the goal, and then I'm like, all right, I need to have at least this much more to make money, so I always hope to overfund by a little bit, you know?
Well, it's just it's weird because like he had I think the most successful tabletop RPG Kickstarter in the history of Kickstarters, right?
Yeah.
So he's got this enormous base of people to email. So like, I'm just surprised, and like you'd think he would have done like some kind of surveying or something, like talking to people at cons, seeing that they'd be interested in the board game, that kind of deal. Like, I don't know. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll have him on to talk about it because he lives where you live, so you should find his home address and follow him until he agrees.
So he lives actually pretty close to me.
Please stalk him.
He actually lives pretty close to me. We have a lot of friends in common, and I think I've seen him at a con once or twice, but like we just never have bumped into each other. Again, I have like friends in common with him though. They're like, oh yeah, you should talk to John. I'm like, yes, hook me up with him, and they're like, all right, I will, and they never have. And I'm like, hey man, but no, the Savage Worlds guys, Pinnacle is up here too, I think, or down here, whatever you want.
Oh yeah, yes. Shane is, yeah.
We there's this place called Game Depot out in Tempe, and the person who runs it, she's our gaming mom. She when we were in college, she's Patty and Mark are the people who run that, and they're wonderful people, and they know all the publishers and stuff. And I'm like, wait, they come in when they come in. I'm gonna hit them up, you know. I love myself some Savage Worlds. Let's do this. But they know them, and I keep missing them. So sad about that.
A lot of their base is actually out in North Carolina, so I get to see those people when I go to Con Carolinas or Mace.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Mike, the ENnies are out.
Yeah, moving into that 7th Sea, more weirdness. No, not weird, but like weird that the Kickstarter didn't go bananas because the 7th Sea RPG book is nominated for like 7 awards or something like that. ENnie nominees have been announced. Paizo has 1 nomination. WotC has like 2 or 3. Looks like we are having a not D&D Pathfinder year.
That's weird.
Made me angry because I spent money sending them books.
Oh, you didn't get nominated? You didn't get anything in there?
No, and I had one of the books was by the guy who won the Judges Award last year. So I thought for sure we'd at least get nominated. But what you gonna do? I know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna submit it again next year because I converted it to Shadow of the Demon Lord. So. Take that, world!
There you go.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
But don't worry, I'm sure it'll be an anti-Shadow of the Demon Lord year next year. So
fantastic.
Whatever.
So Mike, there's something that you have 2 things here that you would play and buy, and I am going to agree with you on both of those.
I am not really into board games. I mean, I like the X-Men Adventure Alert game, but that's about it. That and Scrabble. There is, however, a Totall Recall board game coming out from Overlord Games.
Oh my
god. Or Overworld Games, I'm sorry. I would play that. I don't know if I'd buy it, but I would definitely play it. And my friendly game store owner has a really awesome sit down and play it and try it rule. Yeah. So we might do that one night.
I think that'd be amazing.
What I think I might buy, because our 8-year anniversary is coming up, and this will make a good gift, and she hates surprises. Rick and Morty Anatomy Park comes out on July 12th from Cryptozoic. Rick and Morty is fucking amazing. If you haven't watched Rick and Morty, your life hasn't begun. It's that good. It's the best thing I've ever seen. I think.
What is
like,
the next season coming out? It's coming out end of this month. Is
July
it
30th.
Yeah. Okay.
July
good.
30th. Well, the first episode is out. They
Oh, is
released
it?
it
I
on
missed that.
April 1st as they promised. Oh my god!
I gotta go watch that.
Oh, I watched it like 6 times. It's really good. It's really good.
That's a.
Um,
My wife and I are actually going through. We're alternating watching episodes of Magic Knight Rayearth that you wanted to show me, and I'm showing her Neon Genesis because I want to confuse the shit out of her.
That'll do it. Oh. Oh yeah. But I'm stoked about that. And then I guess the Castlevania comes out on Netflix this week, right?
Does it? Oh man, I'm behind on this stuff. Yeah, I'll be gone this weekend, but yeah, once it comes back, once I get back, I will watch it. It'll be awesome.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
been a
stoked.
marathon.
Castlevania.
You said Wyrd Games is hiring game designers.
Yeah.
Or a
RPG
designer.
Pro. Take note. I'm not applying because I have a job. I'm moving to New Zealand for. But people who don't have jobs they're moving to New Zealand for and want to work in the game design industry should apply to Wyrd Games. They do cool stuff. Their big thing is Malifaux, which
cool.
is like a very weird Western kind of deal, and it's a card resolving system. It's not dice. It's very, very original, very cool.
And, I may or may not be using a system like that for Nagual.
Yeah.
So. Badass cards.
So, but yeah, they're a great company. I got to interview for them once. It was actually kind of terrible because this girl I had a crush on for all of my school years basically showed up in the middle of the interview because she was doing costuming for them because she sat behind me immediately afterwards, wherein I explained to the guy why that was so shocking and terrible, which just made it much worse when I turned around because it was just horrible. It was horrible. So basically the worst possible interview ever, and it was at Gen Con, like on the dealer's room floor.
Oh no.
So yeah, it could not have been worse. Honestly, like I could have been naked on a stage and it would have been more comfortable for me to do.
Wow. Wow.
But yeah, I was happy to interview them, and they're awesome. They're a cool company. Their booth is always kick ass. It pays good. I think job is in Georgia, so not a terrible place to live.
Sounds nice.
There are worse places. But yeah, game designers should apply. You should apply, Scott.
Definitely. Like I said, I'm looking for my MBA job. I have a few good offers in, which is nice, but I had to work on things for like a week or two between graduating and like having a job. So I'm working my butt off on stuff. I'm like, all right, I won't have time to do this for another 6 months. Oh god, just put out all the pages.
Yeah.
I've probably got out a good
That's what
40,
I'm trying to
60
do.
pages of material in the last like week or so. I'm like,
Yeah, I have picked up cigarettes so I can get back to 60, 70-hour weeks.
fun. That's a good positive habit.
Well, I'm making headway. I have to make like 3 times as much money as I normally make before October.
Good.
Wow.
So you're saying you're accepting commission work?
Yeah, if anybody needs any cartography, layout, editing, design,
See what I
graphic
did there, Mike?
arting, I do everything except for drawing actual illustrations.
So
I will happily
into
do
that?
it for you. Oh yeah. I'm a one-man machine at this point.
let's say that I think Mike, that's one of the things that connects us is that we both were kind of like, all right, I need to learn how to do all the things so I can do it myself and farm out the stuff that I don't want to do.
I started working on this in January, and I had my print proof March 17th.
Wow.
So
I've got it down to a science at this point. I'm really happy. And then, like, I have my own secret design team and everything. It's great.
So Mike, let's move on to other media of interest here.
Yes.
So Anime Expo's banning cosplay weapon sales.
Yeah, the Los Angeles Anime Expo is banning cosplay weapons. I thought that you'd be more interested in that.
So yeah, like I said, I was there on the floor as an exhibitor at Phoenix Comic Con when they did this, and I think this is totally a reaction to that. For those who don't know, a dude came in with a bunch of real weapons to Phoenix Comic Con and had been posting on his phone stuff about killing cops and was taking pictures of cops in the place, and they took him down without incident. He is also a little cray-cray. I don't know if that's a mental illness or just like some weird headspace he got into, but he was arrested and arraigned, and so immediately afterwards, the entire convention They said after preview night, they said, all right, guys, when you come in tomorrow, you cannot have any weapons whatsoever. Anything that looks like weapons, you can't have any props. If you are selling a weapon or anything like that, they have to pick it up at the end of the day. Or they can come into the place, you can put them in a garbage bag, and security can escort them out from the booth to the outside. It was
$300 lightsabers.
Oh yeah, the sabersmiths. Was it Sabersmith?
Sabersmiths?
Forge Smith, something like that. They make these super custom, awesome lightsabers that have like different types of blade. What, Christina? What?
Yeah, they look like real lightsabers.
Yeah, ultra
they're
sabers.
very impressive.
Yeah, and they come out great in photos. You can spin them. It's awesome. They're great weighted. And they're like, put these things in garbage bags. And they're like, no, we won't do that. And they ended up having to be escorted out of the con just for not doing it.
The next day.
Oh, yeah.
They eventually did it. They just complained for like 20 minutes. They were like, hey, we're selling fine art. Like,
yeah,
that's not cool to put our fine art in garbage bags. Like, we have a reputation and stuff. And then they're like, the next day, the guy was like, get out. Police escort.
Yeah.
No money back. Like,
it was that, and they also had to pack up their booth as soon as the floor ended. And they're like, you have 20 minutes to pack up your entire massive con booth. And they're like, wow. So these guys going this far, and I'm not excited about it, but I get why they're doing it. I don't agree with it.
LAX is crazy. It's one of the biggest conventions.
It is. That's it. We're coming for it, man. Phoenix Comic Con is like 3 now, I think. The third biggest. It used to be 5th.
Oh wow.
3rd or 4th. I forget where it is. Somewhere in there. But we're in the top 5 now, and we like 10 years ago we were like 9 or something. So it's been growing really big. But yeah, at LAX, man, I'm interested to see how that works because the people on the floor are already complaining about having low sales and stuff. So they're trying to do their own thing, I guess, and shoot their people on the floor in the foot even more. I don't know. I said, sounds like a good business plan.
I cannot think of any other.
I do have one bit of interest. Here. So again, I mentioned that we were rewatching Neon Genesis, and I have had that box since I was probably like 15, and I've watched it more times than I care to admit. I did an entire breakdown of what actually literally happens in the series. I took several hours of research on it. It makes sense, guys, in the dumbest way possible. But watching it again with knowledge of what actually is happening is just like, oh my god. Yeah, there's some really Oedipus-y things in there, like in literal sense. I think someone asked me to do a video about it, and I might go break down and do it. But yeah, if you go read my thing, it's on Medium, it's on my Facebook. We can probably share it or something, and it explains what literally happens in Neon Genesis. And this is all supported by the facts and interviews with the guy, and canon sources only presented in the series. Oh my god, and End of Ava. But oh my god, it is a total it is not what you think it is, guys. It's not just a story about depression. It is way deeper and way weirder.
I'll tag that. I found the most convoluted story I've ever seen recently. Because I had to do a lot of research for the Street Fighter characters, because some of them I was like, who the hell is this?
Oh, they get fun too, yeah.
So the order of the Street Fighter narrative, it's like they took all the games and then threw them up into the air and then shot them with paintballs and let drunk chickens pick them out, what order they came out in for the actual history of it. So Street Fighter Alpha 3 happens before any of the other ones, but Street Fighter Alpha 2 happens after Street Fighter Alpha 3, and then Street Fighter 2 happens after Street Fighter 2 Turbo, which is before Street Fighter.
Of course.
And we're still not up to 4s or 5s yet. And it goes on. It's worth just looking to see how bizarre it is.
I've read through that before. That's pretty insane. Yeah.
Yeah, it's and the movie works in there somehow. And there are animated series too that work in. And
stop trying to build this thing. It's not a thing.
Basically, yeah.
I mean, you've read the Zelda timelines, right?
No narrative designer for 7 years. You're not gonna trick us. Like, yeah.
Have you guys read the Zelda timeline stuff?
No, I can't imagine.
So they actually came up with an official timeline thing, and it's like it goes down the center. It's not in order, but it's like it goes down like one branch, and then it branches out into 3 branches of possible futures.
Oh.
And if you want to see the weirdest one with time travel, and this is weirder than Terminator Genesis, go try to read the Dragon Ball Z timeline.
Oh.
It does not work. They have an officially released like timeline, and it makes no sense.
I like to pretend the Dragon Ball Z ends after Goku gets on the ship to go to another planet. And I'm just like, it's over.
After
Ball Z has ended.
Namek?
Before
Namek?
No, before Frieza. Although
Really?
I like the Ginyu Force, but everything went down in that series after the fight with Nappa and Vegeta. Yeah.
See, I think that it should have ended on after the Frieza saga. Maybe if you really wanted to Cell, but I don't like Cell as much because Goku. I mean, spoiler: Goku dies and he comes back from a heart attack, and I'm like, it'd be like Superman catches the cold and dies, and you're like, great. Boring. Why'd you do that? But yeah, I don't know. I really wish it kind of ended. I mean, we can all agree that GT doesn't exist, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
And
good.
like, by the way, the Dragon Ball movies were immune from the like. So why I say it went downhill after Nappa and Vegeta, you didn't have those super like there were the powering up yelling sequences, but they were all of like 4 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And then after they get off planet, is when it becomes forever screaming.
Yep.
You know, and the movies were immune from that.
Tree of
All
Might's
the
solid,
movies are
man.
dope, dude. Tree of Might, all of them. Bardock, the Bardock movie was awesome. What was the other one that was really good? Oh, the Trunks movie. I really like that one. I like the androids. Like inside of the movie context, awesome. When you get to the show, it's just like "Arrgh!" for like 11 minutes.
All right, so let's move on from screaming men in workout clothing and talk more about some Kickstarters we got here.
Power level of Pathfinder Kingmaker is off the charts.
Just warning you, my battery will die at some point.
All right, so
All right.
here, do we want to do
Pathfinder
this first?
Kingmaker is at 634,000. It's going great. There's less than a week to go. Go pledge to it.
They released a soundtrack preview for it. It's kind of cool. It's an interview with their audio designer, and it's really interesting. Go watch that.
Yes. The new Paths Compendium Kickstarter has launched, and they're, I assume, funded.
I don't know if they're funded yet,
I
actually.
do believe they did
They are.
today.
Cool, they're
Are at,
funded. And
about
we should
15,000.
have, and spoiler, we should have Mark on here next week to talk about it more.
Ooh.
Okay.
And they are up. They have 22 days to go, and they're already overfunded. So
Yes.
I wonder if they're going to succeed or not.
No.
And what is this
We
last
got
one you
Bruce
got here?
Hurt's Kaladar. I think Christina wants to talk about this guy.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's just something I saw the other day about a flying circus. It's a mini setting and a mega adventure. So something for your campaign. I thought it was kind of pretty cool.
I
It does
actually
look
one
very
of one of the one of the adventures I never got to publish was we actually have a carnival we had never published. But yeah, that's so that's a lot of fun. Those are great. All the games of skills. You have 8 days left, and they are overfunded. Go grab it, guys. It's totally worth grabbing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Pledges start at $5.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I closed it.
Oh, okay, no. Getting the actual PDF is 15, but you get other stuff too.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, I believe it's time, Christina. Until your battery runs out, and if she suddenly disappears, she doesn't hate you guys.
Yeah,
she just
well,
her battery
suddenly
does.
disappeared.
So Christina, you have the floor. Talk about whatever you want here. What is in your heart of hearts?
Well, right now I'm considering my next Kickstarter, which is going to be Fairy's Tale relaunch. So that was a game that Patrick Sweeney had done a long time ago for children that Green Ronin picked up for a while. So various conventions I've gone to over the years, people always ask why were there never any other further products, and that was mainly because Patrick lost interest in the game and started writing screenplays. So I've asked to license it off of them and see how it goes. We already had several products sitting there ready to go to layout. we're hoping that'll succeed.
Gotta get the green light. Cool.
Yeah.
What is
So
that,
the other thing else,
Any game or D12 or D10 or what's the quick breakdown? Give me the elevator.
it's die sixes. It's die sixes with 3 ability stats. So it's from the run. There was Jody Black of Pinnacle. Her daughter, when she was 9, ran the game at a convention.
Oh, that's cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, simple enough for children to run. That was our hope, and it worked. Only other major thing on my Ravensburg project, which was what the students wrote.
Yeah, I want
back
to talk
in spring,
about that.
2016.
All right.
So it's got. I'm going through art and finishing some of the development on it. I'm working with the lead student designer right now to get the files up to par on his vision. Make sure that they fit that.
So
And,
I gotta
hope to
ask.
have that out probably in August.
So I gotta ask. It looks a lot like Ravenloft.
It really was named after a German county, but it
Okay.
does have the same flavor.
Yeah, it has the same flavor.
Actually,
Good.
it's any kind of horror is going to be compared to Ravenloft.
It is.
But it was actually named after a German county.
I think because
But yeah, very Eastern Slavic feel to it, and Lycanthropes, of course. I think it's going to be okay. And it was something that they did within a semester. They wrote
Cool.
44,000 words in various groups. So, I mean, it was pretty decent, in my opinion.
how many-
I also talked to Wolfgang Bauer maybe about putting this actually in Dorning in Midgard.
cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, because it fits right in with the naming convention and types of things going on there.
So
Were you gonna
how
say,
how many students did you have in the class?
That one had 16, and 3 actually opted that not to be, to participate. So there's some rewriting going on too.
All right, so
That was a very experimental class. There was a lot of whining and fighting the idea, the pushback piece of it all the way. But they still did a really good job.
So I've
I'm
been
interested in the academic logistics of this, right? So
Uh-huh.
you said it was one lead designer. How did you guys come up with, was it just like they blind voted on what they liked best, or? Oh no! Oh god, not one of the questions. Oh no! No! Oh,
I think we lost her, folks.
I think we lost Christina.
So, just real quick follow up to that. I actually have been asked by my undergrad's in game development, and I've actually been asked a bunch of times by my school to go, would you run a class on? And I'm always like, you're not paying me enough. They want this much work for like this much money, and I'm always like, no thanks. But yeah, I think it's an interesting intersection of where game meets academics. And I've seen it firsthand, and it's great when it's great, and it's really bad when it's really bad. So a lot of it is who you are as a person. I would never recommend going to college for game design. I would never recommend that. But hey, different strokes for different folks.
Okay.
So, Mike, we got anything else today?
I'm gonna email Christina my technical questions, and we will include a quick rundown at the beginning of next show, because I know a lot of people are really interested in like what books did you decide to teach, and like damn it, I had a lot of really good questions.
I know,
for
me
you.
too.
Real good in the next 10 minutes, guys. I'm so sorry.
So anyway, guys, we will we'll give you some info next week on that.
The proposal pitch was like Open Design's early days.
Oh, cool. So send it in, people get their stuff. Nice. So do we want to wrap today?
Yeah. I mean, the guest is gone.
Sweet.
I think there were a lot of people in the Twitch room. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, it was fun.
Computer Smurf and Lord of Kane. I think it's J. Neil. And Myborika Moore. I can't pronounce that.
That's right. It's like us trying to pronounce Nahuatl words from in Nagual. We're like,
they're meant to be read, not spoken.
Yep. So anyway, guys, thanks for joining us once again. Oh,
Jay's Computer Smurf. I'm sorry.
Okay. So thanks for joining us once again, and we will see you next week with I think Mark Rattle. Is that who's going on?
Mark Rattle, and
Raging Swan.
Cool. Oh yeah, of Raging Swan.
Yep.
Right.
All right, guys.
No, is there anything else awesome that's happening this week that's of note? I don't think so. Yeah.
All right then, guys.
My Borika
more tie. But the last, it says a more love. Like, what do you do? All right.
All right, so
Okay.
this time for serious.
You're the goblins. We're not. All right.
Yep. Have a nice one, guys.